Welcome to the Everyday Why channel, where we ask the questions you forgot to ask about the world around you. So picture this. You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, you press a button on the remote, and, well, nothing happens.
Right.
You press it again, still nothing, and then completely instinctively, you just press it much harder.
Yeah, as if applying, 40 pounds of pressure to a plastic casing will magically resurrect a dead alkaline battery.
Exactly.
It's a completely irrational response.
Yeah.
But it's also universally human. And reviewing the psychological research we've gathered for you today, this tiny habit actually reveals the hidden mechanics of how your brain processes failure. And really, how it processes chaos.
See, I always assumed there was a mechanical logic at play there. I mean, if I mash the button, maybe I'm bending the internal contacts, right?
Right.
Or maybe I'm scraping off some microscopic layer of oxidation on the spring or something. Theoretically, that could complete the circuit one last time.
And you're actually describing intermittent reinforcement there. Because, well, you are physically correct. Once in a very rare while, shifting the battery a fraction of a millimeter actually does work.
It does. I swear I've made it work.
We all have. But the issue is how your brain logs that specific event.
Oh, so it turns into a casino slot machine.
Exactly.
Your brain essentially becomes a gambler. You hit that 1 in 100 success, and your neural pathways just aggressively wire themselves to remember that single victory.
Yeah, completely blinding you to the 99 times it failed.
Right. You completely ignore the failures.
So you stop operating on logic and start operating on a payout schedule.
Huh?
But if it were just a physical habit, your brain would eventually calculate the poor return on investment and give up.
Which we don't do. We keep mashing the button.
Right. Because there is a deeper psychological mechanism keeping you hooked. It's known as the illusion of control.
The illusion of control.
Yeah. So back in 1975, a psychologist named Ellen Langer demonstrated that people are, well, they're hardwired to believe they can influence entirely random outcomes.
Really? Entirely random?
Entirely random. She conducted a lottery study where half the participants actually chose their own numbers and the other half just received random tickets.
Oh, wow. Knowing human nature, I'd guess the simple act of, choosing the numbers probably made them value the ticket more.
Exactly.
Even though the statistical probability of winning remained completely identical.
You hit the nail on the head. Langer found that when offered a chance to swap their ticket for one in a different draw with objectively better odds.
Wait, better odds? And they wouldn't take it?
They refused. The people who chose their own numbers flat out refused. Simply touching the ticket and physically making a choice caused their brains to hallucinate a sense of control over a completely random draw.
That sounds like your mind is fundamentally defective.
It does sound that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. If you're hallucinating control over random lotteries or dead batteries, it seems like you're permanently doomed to act illogically.
Well, it's actually a brilliant survival strategy.
A survival strategy? How so?
Think about it. When reality feels chaotic or unpredictable, your brain generates this illusion of control as a defense mechanism. It acts as a cognitive shield against the crushing anxiety of powerlessness. You do this all the time. It's the exact same reason you might shout at a slow Wi-Fi router or blow desperately into an old Nintendo cartridge.
Which we all did.
Right.
Yeah.
It actively reduces the stress of helplessness.
So if this is a cognitive shield against anxiety, then hallucinating control might actually improve your baseline function.
Yes.
Like if you feel less stressed, you probably perform better.
And researchers see this consistently in high-pressure environments. Consider professional athletes, for example.
Okay.
Pre-match rituals, like tying laces in a specific pattern or touching the locker room door frame, they obviously do not alter the physics of the game.
No, of course not.
However, they grant the athlete's brain a profound calming sense of control right before the match. And that mental calm directly translates to superior physical performance.
That makes perfect sense. The ritual manages the anxiety so the athlete can actually play the game.
Exactly.
But the catch, I imagine, is when you mistake the ritual for the actual solution.
Right, that's where it breaks down.
Like, mashing the remote feels like you are solving the problem, but really it's just a coping mechanism to delay getting up, walking to the drawer, and finding a new battery.
Precisely. Your brain's need for control is a feature. It's not a misfire. You have to navigate a highly unpredictable world, and these small illusions keep you moving forward.
That's really fascinating.
It is. But recognizing when your brain is doing this is the first step to overcoming the trap. So the next time you find yourself trying to crush a plastic remote, recognize that you aren't fixing the electronics. You're just soothing your own mind.
Now I want to ask you something. Which one of these do you still do even though you know it doesn't work? Pressing harder on the remote, clicking the lift button 3 times, blowing on a cartridge, shouting at the router, or something else entirely, something I haven't mentioned. Drop in the comments. I read every single one. And if you've ever wondered why something completely ordinary works the way it does, why things exist the way they are, that's exactly what this channel is about. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.